So Bushwacker's 1.5-inch fender flares we've got here today are going to be a great option for the 09 through 2014 F-150 owners out there who might be running some beefier tires that might stick out, hit the trails often, and just want a set of some of the most rugged and durable fender flares available. Now these flares are downright badass, don't get me wrong, but they do actually offer a lot more than just style points, like some of the other options available. But when it comes time to install these, it's going to call for 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, but you're going to be looking at a few hours to get these onto your truck. So most, if not all, the fender flares out there look pretty similar, and you're probably wondering, well, why these? Bushwhackers, just like their name implies, are some of the strongest flares available. Now they use Bushwhacker's own Dura-Flex 2000 material instead of a regular trim plastic or an ABS style like most of the others out there. So a lot of the other flares that look like these may not hold up as well, but these things can take a beating literally anywhere. Now they're incredibly flexible but tough, and they're designed to take abuse from things like small trees, branches, rocks, hard mud, or anything else that you're going to be coming across on the trails. But something I like about these though is their width, and at 1.5 inches they're going to be hugging your fenders more closely than the standard 2-inch option, which makes these even better for the occasional off-road romp. Now you're less likely to get hung up on small trail hazards and narrow passes, but you're still getting the protection, and you'll also stay legal if you're rolling around on a pushed out set of trail or mud tires, because the flare is still going to cover the tread. When it comes to looks, these are pretty easy on the eyes too. They're also going to feature industrial stainless steel bolt-on accents, and the Dura-Flex material is going to do a great job of preventing any type of chalking or fading from UV rays. And while the matte finish is going to look great at home on any F-150, if you wanted to do so, these could absolutely be color matched to your truck. And while having this type of build quality and being manufactured right here in the US, these are going to land around the $500 price range, which will make them a little bit pricier than the next option. I will throw it out there that if you're after this exact flare but you're on a budget, make sure to check out the Barricade premium molded fender flares back on the website. Now they're going to be more for looks and aren't as tough as these are, but they definitely look the part. So getting into the install, like I said a little bit earlier, you're going to be looking at 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, and a few hours worth of work because you're going to need to do the slightest amount of drilling. So before your new flares even hit your truck, you're going to want to begin by peeling off the little bit of red vinyl backing from the edge trim, and then apply the adhesive side of the edge trim to the inner side of the flare, and that's going to affix that to the top edge of the flare itself. So once you're done there, grab your hardware and then work the bolts and washers around the perimeter of your flare and tighten them down. Just make sure not to over tighten them. So after that, move on over to your truck and then remove the 3 factory screws with a 7/32 socket wrench and set them aside because you're going to need to use them when you're reinstalling these. And you can then install the clips over the fender wheel well lip over the existing holes. Now, using a Phillips head, start a supplied screw through the center hole, place the clip over, and then reinstall one of the factory screws previously removed. You'll then position and hold the flare and then reinstall the rearmost factory screw. Now while still holding the fender flare in position on the fender, drill through the bumper cover with a 1/4-inch bit using the forwardmost hole in the flare as a guide. So you'll then install the retainers using a Phillips head, and there's going to be 4 different locations which Bushwhacker is going to have you covered in their diagram that's going to come along with the instructions. So moving out back to the truck, guys, you're going to want to start with removing the 2 factory bolts with a 10mm wrench and then set them aside for later. After that, you will need to hold the flare to the truck and then mark the location with a grease pencil of the 4 holes in the flare. After that, wrap a supplied tab around the wheel well sheet metal centered over each of the 4 marks you made, and then install the supply clips over the tabs. So hold your flare and then start the screw through the topmost holes in the wheel well, then start your screws through the remaining holes. After that, you can reinstall the factory bolts you took out in the first step of the rears, and then you're good to go. So that's going to wrap up my quick review of Bushwhacker's 1.5-inch Pocket Style Fender Flares in matte black, fitting the 09 through 2014 F-150 that can be found right here at AmericanTrucks.com.